What's up, guys? Bringing our light back here again with another ROK video. This one's just going to be an infantry tier list. First of all, Leonidas, he's pooped now. He fell off. His skills are just absolutely rubbish compared to what they were like when the OP commanders weren't out. He used to be somewhat alright. His force skills good. His expertise used to be alright, but now Baikey's like 10 times better just based off his expertise. Absolutely broken. Speaking of Baikey, S plus tier, he's super broken right now. His expertise just makes him insanely hard to kill and does a ton of damage. He's super hard hitting, makes him take more damage from his number one. Really good stats, more severe wounds, which is really important for kill points. So he's all arounder. He's really strong. Speaking of commanders like him, Liu Che's really strong. He's got pretty much the same kit besides severe wounds and stuff. He's got damage reduction. He's got good stats. He's got good smite damage. All arounder, just really good. Ragnar, a lot of people might agree with it or disagree with this, but Ragnar I think is better, especially with the upcoming meta, which is going to be that new skill damage archers. Ragnar reduces that by 25% flat rate, which is really strong in his 4 skill. More defense, normal damage reduction, tons and tons of damage. Damage bonus for, when you're above 70% rage. He's super strong. Scipio, I'm gonna put Scipio in S as well. He's very strong still. You can use him with a ton of other commanders, and a lot of them don't even have to be infantry, honestly, but just because of his health debuff and his skill damage reduction. Um, Harold, RIP, bro. He's not nearly as good as he used to be. You compare him with Scipio, and then Scipio's cleanse will actually make it to where you're just getting free 75% attack. And if you actually pair them together, it's very strong because he doesn't have any counterattack, or Scipio doesn't have any counterattack, and Harold has a ton. So they kind of complement each other on what they're both missing. They have two different attack types, smite and skill, so you'd have to use an armament like um, hollow square formation for like damage reduction, so you're getting value on both of them just off that. Um, but that's really it for Harold, and obviously I talked about Scipio. I would say Scipio's probably bottom A tier. He's a good rally. He's got good stats. He's good rage, and if you pair him with Harold, you get that really good counter attack. So that's pretty good. And that 75% free attack plus all the other benefits. Zenobia, man, RIP Zenobia. I'll put her at the bottom of the B tier honestly, because she's still usable-ish as Garrison. She's not nearly as good as other Garrisons nowadays, though. She's got healing, she's got normal damage reduction, which is alright in this meta. That's why I'm not putting her in C. But that's really it. She doesn't have anything that is super good anymore. Pyrrhus, Epirus, whatever you call him. He's good season 1, season 2. He's very strong then. Season 3, he falls off. Like season 1, I would put him S tier, and season 2, A tier. And then when you get to season 3, he's more of a B, C. Just I will say that he might actually be BC simply because of his normal damage bonus. So if you have him coming out of like season 2, you could pair him with one of the meta smite commanders because of that normal damage bonus. But other than that, he's not super good. Um, William, I'll say William's actually still pretty strong. He's got really heavy damage. He's really good in duels. He's really good against certain events, like Early Crisis or the Lohar trial thing where you use the skills. I forget what it's called, but there's still a lot of applications you can use him. I wouldn't say he's the best open field simply because he's single target, but he does complement it like Liu Che and Baiki, which have AoE. So still very usable, still good kill points. Pakal, RIP. He's got good stats. He's got good damage reduction. His number 4 is like 40% damage reduction, but his damage is really low. His shield that he gets on there too is pretty mid. He's actually not terrible for rallying. If you don't have another rally commander, you could pair him with Harold if you somehow had him too. You could pair him with Tariq. Tariq's actually decently strong. Speaking of, he's not as good as Scipio Emilianus in my opinion. I will say he is strong. He's got good damage factor, but in this meta, skill damage is not the best when it comes to attacking garrisons and stuff. So he's alright. He's a good rally still. I wouldn't say he's absolute meta though. And actually, speaking of Scipio and Harold, at least if one of them is reducing a lot of the damage of one, you'll still be doing lots of damage with one of these pairs. And Harold does do low damage, but he pops his skill out over and over and over. It's actually insane how often he does it. It says like a 5 second cooldown. Absolutely not true. It just pops over and over. Constantine, this might surprise you, but I'm putting him in A tier. He's gonna be bottom A tier. He's just super tanky. That insane amount of health. You can put him in open field, support your other marches. You can put him in canyon, support your marches. You can garrison with him. He's really good with Gorgo. You can pair him with Bai Ki. He's strong with him too. I mean, honestly, with Constantine now, he's not as good as he used to be, obviously, but you can actually still use him if you have him, which is very surprising to most people, most likely. Flavius, he's a mid-tier garrison, honestly. He's got high damage, but I believe it's single target, which kind of gets rid of a ton of value. His stats are alright. They're not nearly as good as, like, Gorgo. Speaking of Gorgo, I gotta put her in A tier. I use her open field with Bikey, Garrison. Her rage requirement's lower than normal, which is a very strong health bonus when she gets to 50%, which is why actually these are like really good together because of that shield that she gets when she's at 50%. All around are very strong, and you know you can use her with Hercules and have the meta Garrison, very strong character. But yeah, Flavius not that good, honestly, in my opinion. Not definitely not worth investing in. Sargon, R.I.P. Sargon. I would say if you had him, he's still all right for like events and stuff. If you're doing like Carwalk Trial, he's still all right. Not very good, but all right for 1v1s. Not good open field. He has single target damage, but it's 2,500 damage factor, which is all right nowadays. But it's over time. It's over 5 seconds. By the time you get done hitting all that, that dude's already hit you with a super powerful skill that was instant, and now you're going to be doing less damage overall. So he's got all right stats. His number one nerfs him super big time. It's pretty sad. Richard Prime. Honestly, you guys are going to be surprised. Bottom of A tier 2. This guy, healing is actually very strong. Super tanky. Actually, a while ago I used him with Theodora, and it was just so unbelievably tanky. It's insane. You can actually put him with Pakal and just take no damage and do tons of counterattack. Just unbelievable. Like the amount of stuff that you can do with him is crazy. He's not nearly as strong as he should be in Season of Conquest. His relic isn't nearly that good. It's very unfortunate. I would not say invest in him now if you don't already have him, but for barb chaining, he's good. Put him with Zooge and just have infinite sustainability pretty much. You can put him Garrison if you want. I don't really know if I'd recommend that though. Put him like with Cho Young or something like that. Not the best idea, but you can use him for some stuff, especially events. I use him for like car walk and stuff to tank, and then put all my other marches behind that and just plow them. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff you do with him. Actually, I use him in Moctezuma to do force, which doesn't sound like the best idea, but the amount of damage he doesn't take with the healing and Moctezuma every time he takes skill damage puts like 800 back onto whoever does that. So you're just infinitely sending back damage with those pairings on Barb Forts. CJ, RIP, his TLC didn't do anything really. Gave him like some smite damage, combo damage, whatever. No one uses him still. He's still pretty bad. I wouldn't say he's better than Pakal or Herald by any means, but he has more usability than most of these commanders, like Zenobia. Definitely more usable than somebody like Zenobia. Leonidas, RIP him. I don't think he's coming back, honestly. They gave him a relic and it was terrible. And that was that. By the way, a lot of these aren't going to be D or F because they're alright. I mean, that's just how it is. There aren't really any commanders in this game that are that terrible. Actually, I would put Zenobia C maybe. She just fell off so hard. It's very sad. Alexander the Great. This is also probably going to be very surprising. A tier. He's very strong. Still, he's got really high stats for infantry. You can use him in canyon. You can use him in your open field marches if you're running multiple. His expertise just makes them take 30% more damage. That's up to 3 marches. That is very, very huge in this game. 30% more damage taken is insane from all sources. So yeah, that's very strong. You can pair him with like Liu Che, Bai Qi, and he's strong. You pair him honestly with most of these infantry. As long as he's not rally or garrison, he's still very strong. Which is honestly why I'm not putting him up any higher, because rally and garrison he's not gonna be useful for at all. Most of his stuff's like on map. Speaking of garrison, Charles Martel definitely still strong. I'm gonna update this a little bit, but I would say he's actually very useful still. Very good counter attack damage. If you're coming out of like season 2 and you have him expertise, you could still use him with a lot of stuff and just absolutely wreck. His relic makes him super strong, especially when you're entering season 3 or something like that. No one really has anything super good yet. If you could get that relic as fast as you can, that is just very strong. 50% attack and like 10% health. His active skill obviously isn't insane, but that's another 30% damage increase. So that's really strong. A little bit of shield. He's still pretty strong. I mean, especially if you expertise him, he gets that march speed and get out of there. All those stats combined. I actually did something which was unheard of, in my opinion. I've never heard of anyone else doing this. I paired him and Scipio together, put V formation on, and I was trading positive in everything I was doing, unless I got caught, obviously. But the sheer amount of stats was overpowering every other march, and I was getting positive kill point ratios. But you can use him garrison. I wouldn't say it's the best idea now in Season of Conquest or anything like that. If you're entering Season 3, Season 2, Season 1, he's very strong then. Guan Yu, ooh, man. Honestly, I'm gonna say that Guan Yu is still alright. Wouldn't say he's as good as like William Wallace per se, but Guan Yu's damage is very high. He's one of the only commanders in the game with a silence, and it's 3 seconds. So if you don't know what a silence is, that means that he hits the other troops or whoever he's targeting, and that means they can't pop any skills on him, and that's for 3 seconds. So if you're getting the first skill pop and you have him as primary, obviously, he's gonna be doing a ton of damage, and then he's gonna silence them, so they're not gonna be able to hit back for another 3 seconds, and that's in a pretty good cone. So he's doing it to multiple people. So very usable in Sunset Canyon, the usable open field still, or a field still, I would say. So I'm really tired. He's still all around pretty good. His relic actually gave him a little bit more defense because he's not a very tanky person. And obviously the go-to pairing would be Guan Yu and Scipio, because Scipio gets more rage when they're silenced. It's just the most obvious pairing. I might lengthen this out actually a little bit. We're going to put him C tier, CJ C tier. This isn't in any order right now. I'm just putting them in C tier and B and all that. Richard, he's still pretty good. I'd say B tier is good for him. Martel, yeah, I would say A tier just because of his sheer usability and his stats go pretty well with a lot. I would put him down a little bit. He's not amazing open field, but if you can use him in Canyon, 10% damage reduction is pretty big. And if you don't have a ton of marches, you could use him in open field. But yeah, he's good for garrison. He's honestly surprisingly decent with some 1v1s because of that healing factor. Alexander the Great, I would say, is actually still very useful. Sargon, man, I might have to bump him down even more, which is crazy to say because I mean he's got a good kit, ish, but he's just not that good against anyone anymore. And his skill damage, which is obviously not the meta right now. Out of sheer usability, Scipio would be bumped down as well. All these rallies are going to be bumped down a little bit because that's all they're really good for is rallying. That's it. I mean, you can't really use them for much else. Honestly, it looks pretty good right here. A lot of you might hate on me and say that William's better than Scipio. There's people that have been mad at me in the past for that. But honestly, I gotta say, he's just better. I mean, William hits harder, but he doesn't have AoE. He doesn't really have any good debuffs or anything like that. And he's just like a good 1v1 character. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. So thank you guys for watching.